Best way to enjoy a campfire. Get your chair, stick an umbrella down your back, have someone bring you a beer. See it, there it is. And crack on with a fire. Hi, I'm Ali, I'm from Canada Tourists, and welcome to another weekend away with the both of us. Yes, it is our second weekend away. We've come back to Port Arthur again. It's a bit wetter this week.
It's raining again.
It's raining again.
Yeah.
Hang on, car coming. Move over, stand clear. So yes, we come out of the holiday park, there's a boat ramp, just wanted to check it out. And that's where we're off to now. Here's the map. So this is the boat ramp here, and the park's sort of stuck in here. And then last week we went for a walk down where there's a popular swim beach, and we walked around into Stewart's Bay. So this is this bit here, just in front. And then if you keep going, you'll end up at Port Arthur site. And a bit further around, there's a really lovely patch of beach too called Carnarvon Bay. Come through all smooth waters until you get to this line, and then once you cross that line, look out. Alright, uncomfortable and heavy swells. And I experienced that a little bit when we were down on the cruise at Port Arthur. It wasn't a particularly bad day, but the swells are certainly there, that's for sure. So last weekend when we came down to Port Arthur, we actually liked it down here so much that we decided that we'd come down, because this weekend is a long weekend. Now last weekend there was hardly anyone around. This weekend this place is fully booked. And not only was it fully booked, but it rained consistently the whole time we were there. Everything got drenched outside. But it didn't dampen the spirits because we had all our weather gear and our umbrellas. We just made the most of it. Jeff said he wasn't going to camp again unless he could watch TV, so we just spent some time trying to set up the television. What we're going to do is hook the laptop through HDMI. But right now he's setting something up to keep us both entertained for a little bit this afternoon. It's a bit I know you love your dartboard, but this is a bit ridiculous. Jess told me, he said, yes, we can play some darts, where are we going to set it up? And then he came in and had to tell me, make sure that you don't miss the dartboard. That was a bit rude. You alright? Do you need some help?
Yes, I do.
Hang on. Good morning, Canada Tourists. We are back at Port Arthur Caravan Park for the third time. We clearly love this place and we've come down with some friends this time. Jeff is cooking us a breakfast. So Jeff, what's for breakfast this morning?
Bacon and eggs, or mate, or even Tasmania they say eggs and bacon.
They do say eggs and bacon. There is actually a place called Eggs and Bacon Bay, isn't there?
There is.
With the weather, it's smoking a little bit, but that's because obviously with fatty bacon on the grill, it is going to do that. We've had to close the door of the van to not set the alarm off. So Jeff, how long does the bacon sit in for?
I have no idea, it's the first time I've ever done it.
Uh-oh. The other thing that we have to do here in our van is cook our toast outside, because even just the heat from that coming up sets the fire alarm off. Jeff's already done that this morning with some muffins, so we have to bring it outside.
See what I'm talking about?
Ooh, hang on, look at this.
This is not good.
Yep, that's not good. That shouldn't happen. Clearly. What we're learning. Good. We're here. We are here. There's see a big fire pit over there. This is the Stewart Spay track. That's the one that we've taken today. There's Glennie. Big pizza oven.
If they were forging steel and bolts and everything for their ships,
for that.
I reckon they'd have to have a massive fire.
And once it opens, just to watch everything out. Well, so they can get their tools out.
You can take the Stewart Spay track from the caravan park and you make your way all around to Port Arthur. It's about a 50-minute return trip. I had a quick check of some of the gardens while I was waiting for the others to go up to the visitor centre to collect their coffees. Just had a lovely walk around from the caravan park and all the way around to Port Arthur. Just making our way back now. Also, fly into July for this month, trying to get as many steps up as we can a day for charity. So I think I'm just about to hit 10,000, so that's pretty impressive. I'm a bit pleased with myself. I'm looking forward to a steak sandwich though, and a beer. Part of this trip was also taken in the rain, and it was quite wet this evening, so we went up to the common room. The guys played a bit of ping pong and they ended up watching the Hawks game on telly. It's nearly 10 o'clock in the morning. It's dark because it's cloudy and raining here at Port Arthur. I'm just about to prepare lunch. But basically we've got some chicken wings and a bottle of peri peri sauce. It's a Nando's. And a Ziploc bag. What I'm doing is putting all the chicken into the Ziploc bag, dumping the whole bottle of sauce into it as well. And then later on, once it's marinated for quite a long while, we might have these for dinner, they will go into the Weber. So that's safely in the fridge. Like I said, it's going to go in there for probably about 6 hours, I reckon. But now I need to clean up. So at the moment, the water pump and the heat pump isn't working in the van. We're getting it fixed up about 22nd of July. It's going into the shop just to get make sure that the gas is compliant, and the gas bottles might need replacing. There's a few things that we just want to make sure we get checked to make sure it's all safe. I feel like the old pigeon lady, you know, in the park.
You look like the old pigeon lady in the park. You idiot. I hope they crap all over you.
Well, it probably will, it's
hey?
alright. A bit of baby white will fix that. If you're heading down past Port Arthur, on your way to White's Beach, you'll see a sign for McHenry's Distillery along the way. This is a gin distillery. You go up what looks like a bit of a goat track to get here. We're here, we're at the tastings place. I'm just going to quickly check that out before we go back to the caravan park. Here we are, Jeff. Jeff's in his gin tasting outfit. There's a nice spot over there. Nice little, I reckon it's probably an Airbnb or something. It's probably more like the one we can afford. And there's the operations at the back. Okie dokie. Let's get our chicken app out. tried the navy one. It was really good. The tonic water gave it a real sweetness. Just trying the Federation now. Cool Federation. Do you remember?
No. Oh yeah, because it's got stuff from all over.
Yeah, it's got flavours from all states in Australia. So it's Yep. Oh, look at that. It changes colour. From blue to purple. That one is butterfly. Do you like it?
It's all good.
I don't mind that. Oh, it's not too bad.
Sweet.
What time is it?
21.
It's 20 to 1. It's okay. How do I feel bad? We've had a lovely time down here at McHenry's. We just had paddles. Now the paddles that we had, there were 3 gins on each one. They were $15 each. And you can pick which 6 you would like on that one.
That's $5 per drink, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's a pretty decent drink.
I did well.
And they work out the paddles so that you're still able to do that and drive, which is very convenient. I'm going to pick up a bottle of the Damson, which is made on plum. Okay? You better have a bottle. Take the one off the shelf. He's going to come back, isn't he? So sorry. We're going to go, oh, it's just no. It's not going to happen. But this is a great setup. As you can see behind me. Nice and warm. There's a big wood fire going over there. All the gins lined up on the counter. We don't usually stop in at gin distilleries and have a bit of a taster, but we find that in Tasmania there's heaps of gin distilleries around and they're getting more and more popular every year.
Cool.
It's best we leave the distillery now. Hello, bottle of gin. Oops, just leaving without me. You told me I was being annoying. I didn't realise it was going to take off. So the Weber's going to get heated up. Have you got it on? The Weber's on. Marinated wings are here. Weber needs to heat up for a little bit and then the wings will go on what's called a trivet, which is like a little wire rack that sits above a convection tray. Weber have really made it worthwhile to them as a company, I suppose, because you've got to buy all the little bits and pieces that go with it and keep replacing them, like the train underneath, the convection trays, then they've got all the other little pieces that don't come with it, like the extra plates and the fry pans and the pizza stones. So good marketing ploy, but it is a decent little machine. It is a gem. We do like it. I've got fire lighters. Hang on, Jeff. There's really only one minor problem with our site, and that is that it's beautifully treed, which is great in the summer, but it's not letting a lot of the sun through during the winter time. Some of the campsites up the top are a little bit better, but then again, it's about to dip in behind that mountain over there. We're in a bit of a gully here, so I don't think you get all that much anyway. Just put my thermal on. Just started the fire. Jeff's about to put the wings on. And can't think of what else you could possibly want. He's about to get a beer as well. Jeff, when they go onto the Weber, how long do these have to cook for?
I don't really know, mate. I'm still trialing.
Still trialing?
They've been marinating in peri-peri sauce overnight.
24 hours. So they're going to be good. Try and tuck the wings down underneath so they don't burn. I reckon probably 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
See how we go. They're going to be a bit juiced up with this peri-peri, aren't they?
I've got to pack them pretty tight. We've got a few.
We have. I didn't cut them up into little pieces. Alright. It'll be fine. We'll check back. Check back in 20. Now wait for the fire.
Oh, that one's squirted. Oh, so did that one. It's a squirter.
And this candidatus is the wings done. And they did take longer than 20 minutes. It was probably more like 40, but they're looking good. So we're about to enjoy a bit of a late lunch. Got the fire going, took a few more firelighters. Wood was a bit green, but it's looking bloody good now. Yeah, beers, wings, fireplace. Animal haven again here. Got a few here. This one's very friendly.
They're lovely for you,
We just walked up the hill because the sun rises and sort of sets in a very short span over here at the moment because it's the middle of winter. And we're down in amongst where all the trees are. So we're up on the grassy knoll just to grab a few rays before it gets too dark. So that's our campsite down there. Great in summer, trees everywhere. But then you have campsites like this, less trees, a little bit more sunlight. Chef reckons this is a good pick as well. But you can come out and sit in the sun. You can't sit down in the sun down there. It's freezing. Jess left me in charge of the fire. And I'm just going to get some firelighters and firewood.
Rump steak with potato bacon.
Wagyu rump steak. That's lunch.
Around the fire pit.
Was that sorry?
It's an outdoor cooker around the fire pit. It's freaking cold.
It is cold.
It's freezing.
I'm going to put another jumper on, I think. The awning's set up. Hinges, it's got a window here and at the side, and the door sort of rolls up. But the only thing wrong with this particular annex is that inside it's really dark. Yeah, it probably doesn't show up on camera much, but it is quite dark in here. And lunch is served. And now that the sun was out, we were able to drag out the dartboard and play outside in the open air. Imagine that. Well. All too quickly, our 5 days down at Port Arthur Holiday Park were over and it was time to head home. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video if you enjoy what we're doing, and we will catch you in the next one.